It's almost like one of the 10 commandments in the credit card world. The bag is yours to fumble. I am an avid defeater of the Chase 524 rule, and there are actually special conditions that will get you around it. I was pretty much locked out of Chase so that you can maximize the 524 rule.
We always talk about the House of High Limits with Navy Federal, the House of Morgan. They here to play too. All right, guys, I know you know or have heard about the 524 rule by Chase. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first heard about it, I had no idea what that meant, okay? And so but when I finally did figure it out, it still was not, explained as best as this interview we're about to go into right now, guys. So here, again, get your notepads out. You know we only bring the best people to this channel so you guys can learn how to manage your credit better. But for all of you all who are like real Chase heavy, or you just try to learn more about Chase, listen, today is the day that you're gonna learn about how they do things, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into the best way that the 524 rule is gonna be explained. And I couldn't think of a better person to go ahead and do this interview with me than, of course, my man, Chad. Chad, are you with us today?
Yes, sir. And it is my absolute pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Well, listen, Chad, we don't wanna hold the people up. Let's go straight into it. So now, Chase has this thing called a 524 rule. Number one, why is it called that? And what does that mean? And how does it affect the person when they're considering going with a Chase card?
Well, first and foremost, the 524 rule looms heavy over enthusiasts such as myself, but most people are actually not aware of it because they don't apply with the velocity that I do. But essentially what the 524 rule is that if you open 5 personal credit card accounts within a 24-month span, as far as Chase is concerned, once you do that, you are no longer eligible to apply for any of their cards until your 524 status is diminished. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, when you apply for a credit card and you put your social security number on there, when they run your credit and they approve you for that card, that account now is sitting on your personal credit report. So if you apply for 1 card, 2 card, 3 or 5 in the span of 1 year, well, those inquiries, the beginning of those accounts, you got to set a timer for 2 years. And then every 2 years, they start falling off, which then adjusts your 524 number.
Okay, let's bring this back. So now, so when you say 5 credit cards, that's any 5 credit cards, of course, outside of Chase, right?
The funny thing is that I said 5 personal accounts, meaning that when I say credit, you have store credit, you have any issuer whatsoever, Chase, Amex, anybody. If that account is a revolving credit account and it hits your personal credit report, it is eligible to be considered under the 524. And I'm talking anywhere from rooms to go all the way up to an Amex Platinum.
Right. So now I hear what you're saying. Have you ever seen where this method wasn't the case, or was this pretty much always the case with Chase?
It's funny that you say that. This rule has been it's almost like one of the 10 commandments in the credit world. If you have more than a few cards, chances are you run up against it. And now they've just started to absolutely recognize it, because even though it was unspoken, the data points really pointed that it loomed large. But now, as far as it being defeated, I am an avid defeater of the Chase 524 rule, and there are actually special conditions that will get you around it. First of all, if you just take time and stop applying, after 2 years, you'll essentially get down low enough to be under 524. But if Chase offers you a specific targeted offer, chances are you can beat it because they are offering you the card and you're not going to them for the card itself. Also, in-branch offers tend to supersede the 524 rule. So you have at least 2 situations there. They have to be targeted offers that have an invitation code addressed specifically to you, or you must be eligible for an in-branch offer with a relationship manager, and those can supersede it. Other than that, it's pretty much set in stone.
Wow. See, guys, I told you. Again, this is where I hope you guys are taking notes on this, because listen, this is not your normal YouTube channel. We want you to take action on this. We want you to make sure that you're learning this information. Again, he just said it. These are the 10, it's almost like the 10 commandments. Okay, that is huge, okay, especially in the credit card world, because Chase is a major player in this credit card game. And if you're not playing the game right with Chase, you're not going to win. It's just that simple. So now you said that there's 2 ways around the 524 rule. And like you mentioned, one of them being, which, man, I didn't even know that, where you could, or, of course, obviously a local branch. And then, that's one of the ways that could potentially supersede that rule. And of course, if you're getting a customized, personal offer that they're sending to you, I keep telling you guys, guys too, as you're getting these things in the mail, again, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the bank. Would you spend money on a printed mailer with ink that's in a nice paper, type, a stamp for someone that would not be approved, right? The chances are they know that it's good chances, I should say, obviously based on what they can see, that you would get approved. And so that's another way, another workaround for that. See, that was with the video right there. Well, here's another thing too, Chad. So now, do you have any Chase cards that you particularly use by chance?
Absolutely. I have, by my last count, at least 6. I do believe I have 6. I have the World of Hyatt Business Card. I have the Chase Ink Business Cash, the Ink Business Unlimited, the Ink Business Preferred, the Freedom Unlimited, and the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature. So that's actually 7. Now, the reason I have that is I actually got 5 of those cards while I was well over Chase 524 rule, because that's what I do. I defeat 524. I mean, it's like something I like to say, but definitely it smiled on me because I was pretty much locked out of Chase. When I started my card journey, I did not start with Chase because that part I wasn't really privy to. I pretty much started with American Express. So I would normally suggest new people to start with Chase so that you can maximize the 524 rule. But by the time I got my first Chase card in, I think it was like 5 years, I was at 824. So I was well over. There was no reason I should have got that card. And then they just kept giving them to me.
Wow, that's a good problem to have. You literally beat the Chase 524 rule. And a lot of people haven't done that. They don't even know how to do that. And then here's the thing, but it's not necessarily about beating it. It's more so the fact that they want your business. They want to give you these cards, right? But at the same time, the way that you're doing it, that's exactly what they want to see. So guys, again, I hope you guys are taking notes on this. He just gave you the cards that he can have in which sequence. And then Chad, also too, real quick, do you remember in which order, like you kind of got those cards, or just to the best of your memory?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got the Chase Business Unlimited first. That was in September of last year. I got the Ink Preferred that November. And then I got the Business Unlimited that January. Then in March, I got the World of Hyatt card. The other ones I think I had before. So I had pretty much most of the other ones before. And I also want to add with the 524 rule, just so that you guys are aware. Business cards, when you apply for business cards, if you have a business, if you're a sole proprietor, they do not count towards your 524 status. But with Chase, this is a caveat. While they do not count, they are affected by your 524 status. What I mean by that is if you are over 524 and you apply for a Chase business card, chances are you're probably going to get denied. But if you are at 424 or 0 and you apply for and are approved for a Chase business card, it does not raise your status. It does not raise your number because those are business accounts and do not sit on your personal account. And that goes for any issuer. So if you get like the Amex Prime rewards card, that would be an application that would not count towards your 524 status. So that's just a caveat where the 524 rule is concerned.
Guys, listen, again, these are the gems you've been waiting on, especially for all of you who've been trying to do business with Chase. So I hope you guys been taking notes because again, it's about that time, right? So Chad, real quick, before we jet out of here, what are some any tips that you want to leave with people, before we close out?
First things first is, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize, Chase likes relationships. They like you to spend money. And I'm just going to focus on Chase here because it's very popular in the game. And a lot of new people start out with their Freedom Unlimited, their Freedom Flexes, which are great cards, and their Sapphire line. They're hugely popular. You can earn tons of points, but it is best to have that relationship. If you have a checking account, savings account, and I mean not just $50 set it and forget it. Like, you pass money through your accounts, you handle your accounts responsibly, and they will smile on you because the House of Morgan is an institution. It's one of the largest banks, if not the largest by capitalization in the country. So that is definitely something that you have to consider, is that a lot of times you can be dealing with Chase anyway. So why not get in on the ground floor, get those UR points that have great cash value or that you can trade for travel, and just, it's yours. It's literally, the bag is yours to fumble.
The bag is yours to fumble, guys. You heard it from Chad himself. And listen, we always talk about the House of High Limits with Navy Federal and stuff like that, but he said, listen, the House of Morgan, they here to play too, okay? But listen, guys, now you guys got to play. Now you got the game plan. Now you got the strategy to go ahead and not only you guys learned about the 524 rule, okay? So here, I think that you guys should most definitely consider liking this video, sharing this video. And again, let's go ahead and make sure you guys know how to keep up with Chad, because listen, on his channel, he talks about this stuff all the time. So you most definitely want to go ahead and take the time out, subscribe to his channel, learn more about what he's talking about so you guys won't miss out for the future. So again, thanks again, Chad, for your time. We greatly appreciate you stopping by today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.